Hello, everyone. I am really excited to do this video for you guys. Last Sunday on the monthly live alchemy call, I decided to channel some information around time and some unexpected information came through. It was really cool to do for everyone. I don't usually do that, and I think it's something I'm going to start doing more often on the calls. But basically, everyone in the alchemy call asked if I would share this, if I was going to share this on YouTube, and I asked if they thought the information was going to be received well, and they thought it would be really helpful to all of you. So I've decided to share the info. I transcribed the, it was about an 8-minute channeling. Of course, there were some pauses in there, but I'm going to read to you what I received. And as I've been sitting here to unpack it further for you guys, I've gotten a lot more information, more messages, so I will go into those as well. Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Dennis, Beth, Suiterbug, hello. So good to see you. Of course, before I get into the message, as I wait for a few more people to jump into the live chat, just let you guys know that I am offering a new service called Soul Alignments versus Karmic Release. And it will really give you some great insight. It's a reading I'm doing that mixes astrology and intuitive readings to help you understand, based off of your chart, what you need to be focusing on, what karma you need to be clearing at this time, what are some of the things you cannot avoid, what things like in your purpose and your more soul alignment that are coming into greater view for you. And the channelings have been really fun. The messages have been really fun. And so if you're interested, you can book that in the links in the description below. They're on my website as well. And if you aren't already, please follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Telegram. The links are also in the description below because I'm having a lot of fun putting out short messages. So, okay, so time has been an interesting concept over the last 6 weeks to 2 months. And I felt compelled to kind of go into this further because I have noticed a lot of, for lack of a better word, glitches in time. As I mentioned to you guys in alchemy, there have been moments where I have received more time where I shouldn't have, and it was not a figment of my imagination. It wasn't like an altered state of reality. It was literally, I could digitally see I received more time in certain things. Many of you in the alchemy program talked about how you feel like you've gained, time is either sped up or really slowed down. And so I really wanted to kind of look into this and see what was coming through. And I felt like this was all happening because as I'm unpacking this further, I'm starting to understand there's something around this that we can understand on a deeper level on how to use time as a portal, a reflective portal, to make faster changes and visit alternate realities to change this current one. Okay, so hello Jazzy Peach, good to see you. All right guys, so why don't I go into the message here and I will read it. And why isn't the chat box coming up for you guys on this? That's weird. It's weird that it's not showing up on the screen. Okay, don't know why that's happening, but we'll just let it be, I guess. Okay. I don't know why that's not coming up. Okay. Dennis, you lost a day every week for a month. Geez, I hope you were extremely productive then, because losing time right now is, I feel like there's so much we need to do. Okay, here we go. Let me just bring the microphone in here so you guys can hear me clearly. Time is currently beyond fluid. It's reflective. It's showing you other realities that are in existence right now. Time is almost acting like a reflective surface or a mirror. When we enter into one place, we're reflecting one reality into another. So time is getting lost, or it's speeding up or slowing down. Or we feel like we're getting more or getting less because we're bringing in other realities through a reflective portal of time. It's so important for us to expand our desire to play in this realm, to look into the possibilities we've never looked into before, to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone and into a place of creation, of expansion, of going outside your comfort zone, so that you can bring in pieces of other timelines into this current one, bringing in a few pieces of the puzzle at a time for an easier transition. There is an awakening to a lot more power than most understand within their own being, within their own DNA at this current time. And this has come from the very restrictive qualities you have experienced over the last 2 years. This was part of the plan, so that you would push past the boundaries you have always allowed yourself to stay within, so that you would push beyond all the boundaries and allow yourself to be set free into powers you have not yet recognized within yourself and are realizing now at this time. It is a very opportune and important time for you to play with these energies and see how far you can actually go. Time is only child's play for some of you, and you will notice that. Time will bore some of you very soon. You'll want to go deeper and further beyond time and play with concepts that are much newer and less known in the conversations that you usually discuss. Time is actually warping, like Melanie has said. Melanie is one of our alchemy family members. There are time warps that are happening. You are warping the time. The time is becoming warped for a reason. And this is when I started to see layers of colors in my mind. It was almost like just a lot of wavy layers, different colors, and waves of different colors layering on top of one another, mixing things together, causing things to become more cohesive, blending, melding. So through different frequencies, color frequencies, sound frequencies, you are warping reality to become something more creative than anyone has really understood is possible. Hence, why it's so important to play, to pretend you are holding a piece of Play-Doh in a sense of matter, that you can mold it into anything you want, and that it is very malleable at this time. Going into the eclipse frequencies, this will be a very high time to continue doing this. You will notice very powerful energies available to you that you haven't had available to you at this time. If you are courageous enough to explore and dabble with this, you can see the distance that is available for you to walk across. So that was the message that kind of came through on the call, which was really interesting. And so I kind of, let me just keep this open because I kind of, one second here, sat with this. I'm like, the really big quality about this whole message was that we're kind of going through a reflective portal of time. That really stood out to me. And so I drew a very basic stick figure drawing here for you guys, okay? And so what I'm seeing is that on this side right here, this is you. And this mirror or reflective portal, okay, is acting, it's a time portal, a portal of time. And when we When we miss time or lose time, gain time, when there's a time anomaly, we've entered into an alternate reality. And so now we're over here. But we've also brought in some of the frequencies of here, but these are newer frequencies in this reality. And what happens is that as we spend more time in these alternate realities, which ideally would be ones of change that you actually want for your life, the things that you're desiring, they get reflected through this mirror back into this current reality. So there's somehow time is acting like this reflective portal. And so as I'm sitting here, I just wrote these messages. You enter a portal of time and make changes or engage in an alternate reality, which then reflects necessary changes back into your current reality, a few pieces of the puzzle at a time, which again, as the message said, is to allow for an easier transition. Newer frequencies projected into current reality to facilitate faster change. And then I got, so we're switching back. Okay, so what's happening is when we're experiencing some of these time anomalies, which have been very frequent since the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate really opened up a lot this year. And this is when I've been started noticing them, was right when the Lion's Gate opened, like at the end of July. And so like, this is one of the, in the next message that I'm going to read you, this is one of the reasons why I think I've been guided so heavily to keep insisting on why this is such a massive year for manifestation possibilities with rewards beyond what many of us think are even possible, considering what we've been able to manifest in the past. There's some sort of frequency changes. I don't know if there's been a lot of solar activity, solar flares that have been affecting not just this planet, it's affecting all the planets, which then are affecting us, right? Especially the ones that are coming into major tough transits. So this is another message I got about it. This is how you change the timelines. Engage. This is so important. Engage with activities of joy, creativity, fun, play, inspiration, healing, and they become projected back into this one. Your power, start realizing what you are capable of. So this was emphasized. Start realizing your power. And a lot of us are starting to get glimpses or not just activations. It's bigger than that. It's how do I say this? It's almost like it's like you enter another dimension or another portal, like for brief moments of time, and you get to engage that power, or you get to see what you're actually capable of. Swift changes are very possible if you believe in yourself enough to embrace this power. So when I'm looking at this portal of time, and I'm looking at this reflective surface like a mirror where you see yourself on the other side, because I kept, when I sat here in meditation before I went live, I'm kind of, in my mind's eye, I am seeing like, it's almost like the mirror is almost like plasma. And so you can literally go through the mirror, like it's almost like liquid. And that's why they said time is beyond fluid. It's reflective. And so it's important to know that the reflective portion is important to grasp, because other realities, when you engage with them and they're of higher frequency and higher frequencies, the more time you spend in them, they're more likely to project into the current one fast. So, this is, okay, speaking of time, the more time you spend in these higher frequencies where you can slip into alternate realities, as many of you are starting to do, If you spend enough time there, you can start to project those realities back into the current reality for swifter timeline change. So it's not just about bringing the frequencies back with you. There's something about it being projected as you're there, like you're amplifying it through your field, and this is interesting. It's so wild. I feel like I'm getting information about how something works. It's not just specifically about this time. And I know I'm saying the word time so many times, so I apologize. I'm not meaning to do that. I got very distinctly before I went live that I'm being shown a mechanism that is and has always been available to us to discover. It's just at this moment, there are certain energies that are allowing us to experience it at higher rates or easier access. And so if we take advantage of it now, we can almost familiarize ourselves with it, become more of just a good student. I don't know what the word is, to graduate into higher levels of usage of this mechanism. This is so wild. It's it's so important. So like I put out a video today, like a TikTok, Instagram reel, and I think I put it on my shorts too for YouTube, about changing the world, and it doesn't even have to go as far as changing the world. You just like your own immediate world. That it's so important to change your perspective on how you see things. You want to change the world, you need to change the way you see the world. And remember, beliefs will alter your frequencies, which alter your perception. So you have to start believing in something more positive in order to see positive. And with all of the things that are happening in the world and the way information is being disseminated to us, that it's so easy to get caught up in it. Lord knows I did for the first couple years of everything that was happening. And since making the decision a little over a year ago to really pull back my energy and harness it in a different way, because I always knew every time I engage with that timeline, I help it stay more powerful. I give it more energy. I literally pump blood into the life force of that timeline. And I'm like, I know how powerful I am. And I'm starting to discover it even more this year, just through especially the ayahuasca and the psilocybin journeys. And then what's awakening through me and just even my own meditations this year. I'm starting to recognize that we have an opportunity here to do some very swift changes if we want to engage that way. But you can't engage the change that you want to see until you choose to actually see the world in a different way. So it's really important right now to shift where you're giving your energy and really focus it into more positive things. It doesn't mean you deny the darkness. The darkness exists. It's valuable. Okay. It's here for a reason. It's never going to go away. It's your relationship with the darkness that can transmute. You don't necessarily transmute the darkness. You transmute your relationship with the darkness. And, that's I like that. That just came through. Okay. So when I was getting this message about how you can change the timelines through this portal of time, this reflective mechanism, understanding the mechanism behind it deeper and utilizing it with more conscious awareness, you can actually start shifting things here in a much faster way, but it requires you to be acting at a conscious level that is much higher than the one that we're being like pulled into through like addiction to information, addiction to wanting to know what's going on, addiction to all of that stuff. It literally does become a comfort, which is what we're all addicted to, is comfort. As humans, we're all addicted to comfort. So having to go outside your comfort zone is very necessary in order to affect timelines. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a second. Let me see what's going on in the chat. How are you guys feeling with this information? Is anyone getting anything here? Let me kind of pull back through the chat and Dennis, I've noticed it's like walking through a glass. You can look back and see the difference for a moment only. Yeah, the time anomalies are very quick. Like, they're subtle in many ways. So if you're not super aware, you could miss them. Beth, question, how do we recognize when we have the opportunity to warp and mold time or have entered into a different time portal? Pay attention to how you feel within the day and how time is moving for you. Do you feel like you will almost feel like you just entered into another reality, and it feels different. It feels a little off kilter when you're there, but you always have the opportunity to warp time. It's not that you need to recognize when there's an opportunity there. You always have that opportunity. The energies are super potent right now. You can literally do it at any time. It's a matter of how often I think the more you engage with the things that are very soul aligned for you and focusing truly on your specific mission. And even if you don't really know what your mission is, but you know what your heart loves, you know what your soul resonates with, you know where you're inspired, you know where you like to play, you know where you laugh a lot, you know where like the creative channels start to open. Those are the things you really want to engage with more and more. And also, being in a state of peace is important. Peace opens the door of this potential further because peace removes all resistance. And so when you're in peace, you're in a state of neutrality, which is how you jump time zones. So there's that. Beth, question, does seeing the same repeating numbers on clocks, 11, 11, 12, 12, etc., have any significance? Is time trying to communicate with us? Oh, that's interesting. It is in a way, it's a way that time does communicate with us through the synchronicities of the time clock numbers. And obviously there's messages in there. It's the synchronicity in itself that is trying to communicate something to you. Sometimes the numbers are coded for that for a certain reason. It's also important to pay attention to what you're doing every time you notice those synchronicities. Was there a thought you just had in your mind that could be a confirmation? Those are important. I will say that, guys, I'm going to tell you about a synchronicity I've had this week that I shared with everyone in the alchemy group today. And for those of you in alchemy who've dropped in some insights, you guys have been pretty spot on. So that's been really cool because I haven't let you guys know what has been going on and what readings I got around it. But okay, so on Tuesday, I was making myself eggs. And I was like, just, like frying up 3 eggs. And one of the eggs had a double yolk in it. And I was like, oh my gosh, a double yolk. Like, that's got to be a good omen. That's got to be a good sign. How cool, right? Well, yesterday I went to make eggs again from the same carton because it was a brand new carton that I just used. And I got another double yolk in that 3. And I was like, oh my gosh, 2 double yolks in 1 carton? Like, so I start looking it up and I was like, what are the odds? And apparently 1 in every 1,000 eggs is a double yolk. And I'm like, I just had 2 in the same carton. And I'm like, there's gotta be significance around that. Well, today I went to make 3 more eggs and a 3rd double yolk. Remember, 3s are very important. Nikola Tesla talked about the importance of 3s. And so I'm like, what is going on here? What is this message trying to tell me? So for any of you that are in the live chat right now and aren't in alchemy, I'd love to know, drop in the live chat, or if you're watching later, please drop in the comments if you get any insight into that. Because obviously double yolks, when we think about in the egg, it talks about like extreme fertility. It's apparently a really good sign for abundance, money, that sort of thing. New beginnings, in plenty, big changes. So, but it's clearly very significant. I feel it is extremely significant, just because what are the odds that I would get 3 double yolks? Now, so this is another instance of a synchronicity happening when you're fully engaged with your purpose, your plan, really focusing on what you're meant to build here. I'm like, screw everything else that's going on in the world, not because I don't care. I absolutely do care. In fact, that's why I'm doing it, because I care so much. I want so much to be able to affect change in this world in the most positive way that my soul decided to come here to do. But I know that if I'm focused on everyone else's narrative, I can't put enough energy or attention into the one that I'm supposed to be here creating. Like, what's my story? What's my narrative? We all have our narrative. And so there's something that so experiencing things like that are like also really good examples of how like things are warping realities, right? So Eric, hello, good to see you. Hi, Nicole, always glad to tune into your channel and wisdom. You're welcome, Eric. So good to see you here. Okay, Beth, blowing your mind, it's resonance match. Craig, we can attract what we want from alternate timelines by being in resonance with those frequencies. Yes, exactly. And so this is why, like, when you start resonating with the frequencies of perhaps a future timeline or an alternate timeline of your desire, when you start engaging in those frequencies now, you can slip into that alternate reality. And it's almost like what I'm seeing is you almost get a sample taste of that reality, or like you get to have a meal that you then get to fill up on and bring back into this one. So it's like and how comfortable you are and how much you're engaging with those frequencies will also dictate how much time you're actually spending. And again, I use the word time loosely because, of course, there is no such thing as time, but we're using it as a concept of this reality. Think of it as more of like the more energy you're focusing in that particular alternate reality, you get to then project it back into this one. So it's acting like a mirror, a reflective surface. I'm getting that there's a window of opportunity where the reflection keeps coming through. So it's limited. It's not always on. But the more you can so there's this reflective portal that's open for a limited amount of time that allows for this to come through once you've come back into this particular reality. Okay. Dennis, projecting the frequency back is to help others heal and raise their own frequencies too. Just my feeling. Well, I think that's just a natural thing that will happen. That's kind of like a bonus. Of course, you can only affect what those are willing to allow to be affected by. So always just keep the focus on you And the other stuff will just happen naturally as like a bonus. Let me see. Hi, UFO Mark II. Thank you for being here. Stacy, so relevant and offers a missing piece to understanding the changes that are necessary. Double yolks. Double yolks are good luck. Yes. Triple whammy. You need to find that chicken. I know, I'm getting like this Jack and the Beanstalk kind of image right now. As you just said that, you need to find that chicken. I instantly was shown the Jack and the Beanstalk story in my head, like that vision. Okay, Suiterbug, question. What do you think about a double egg showing you a yolk mirroring another yolk as they lay side by side? Oh, Suiterbug, that's good. Oh, that's so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're blowing my mind right now. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. I wonder if that's one of the messages that has come through, like why I had to put this video out. I wonder if they're like, put the video out, put the video out. That could have been like one of the messages behind it. Double the power. Double the power. Okay, so when you enter into the other alternate reality, you're doubling up the power, projecting it back in. It's a power up. It's an amplifier. It's also it's a strong portal of fertility of possibility, fertility of growth. That is cool, Dave. Thanks for saying that. That was really cool. Okay, Beth, how does this relate to the law of attraction, like attracts like frequency match? Well, exactly. Very, very good question, Beth. So when you start acting like the frequencies in the other alternate reality or a different timeline or a future timeline, whatever, a parallel reality, whatever it is that you are interacting with, you become a magnet. So it's like you pull the energy through the mirroring. So it's like it's pulling, it's reflecting. Oh, so they're reflecting, so it's pulling it through. And this is why we're being asked to do this more and more, to focus our energy on this. It's so important because the energies are so high right now. Can't stress to you guys, this is one of the most potent periods of the entire year. October and November are super, super potent, but even now it's super high. Beth, did you project the double yolk back to yourself? Who knows? Suiterbug, and it showed up 3 times. Clue, clue, hint, hint. Oh my goodness. Yeah. 3 times. Oh, there's so much to think about here. There's so much to reflect upon. It's so exciting. It's really exciting. So again, for those who have just joined in, this is the diagram that I put up earlier as a portal to show that this acts like a mirror, okay, a reflective surface. You enter, or your energy, your consciousness, your frequencies get projected into, you enter in through that reality into an alternate reality where you also engage in the newer frequencies, because you get pulled in that way. As you engage in the frequencies here, you become magnetized into that alternate reality, just as Beth was talking about, the like attracts like. And so you literally, this is what's happening. You're getting magnetized into that. You literally get pulled in. So like it pulls you into that reality. So that's how you slip in. That's how you slip in. The time slips. Slipping into an alternate reality. So important. So important to engage with this stuff. I really feel like I'm being downloaded a mechanism which I'm sure has been talked about before. I've never understood it this way though. But for some reason, this is really important to bring through. So engage with those newer, but when you're also over there, it's important to understand it's almost like you get to fill up your tank with double the energy. And now because you're over there, you're powering up the energy so much that they're projecting more into this reality to kind of help this one speed up so that the timeline is either collapse into one another, or it's just a full jump, like you finally like jump through. It makes it a lot easier. So, Sudarbug, double fertility of potential power, engage your yellow ray, free will chakra, but focusing intention from the indigo ray. Ooh, I like that. Very, very wise. Pascal, 3 out of 9. Yes, 3 out of 9. 3 out of 9 eggs. I love it. Hey, Tyler, good to see you, sweetie. So, I don't know if there's another double yolk in my carton. I still have 3 eggs left, so we'll find out. But triple double yolks in one carton is definitely something. I will keep you guys posted if anything comes through that I am aware of. But I really wanted to put this video out for you guys. And again, this is like, it's so important to understand where you can put your energy right now and what's being called for you to engage with. If you're struggling, if you need help, if you need some guidance, some direction, just know like I'm here. And I highly, highly, highly suggest the Soul Alignment Karmic Release session right now, because that's the one that's been giving me the best information when it comes to this kind of work. And of course, if you guys are interested in joining Alchemy, please do. It's very supportive. Everyone there, like, is very supportive. It's like family. And I'm going to start doing these channelings on the live calls more often. So, and those happen the second Sunday of every month. So, yeah. Beth, I definitely feel that you are talking about something so important. I felt it on the alchemy call too. Thank you, Beth. Yeah, it does feel super important. Tyler, definitely go back and catch it from the beginning. There was a channeled message that I got a download so that I read to everyone. And double bubble gum. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. For those of you who are watching later, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to know. And I'll be back if not before the podcast, and on the podcast night. Guys, have an awesome weekend. Really consider this information that's come through. It feels extremely valuable to be using, and it's really exciting. It's super exciting. I've been noticing some crazy shifts in my own life, and it's almost like portals of opportunity opening up. So many more options than I've ever been used to. And mind you, that creates a bit of challenge in like what I'm going to choose, but it's a much bigger place of abundance when you get to choose from more options. So there's definitely something happening here. So I love you guys. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll be with you guys soon.